Hey, welcome back after recording for another day. Because the other video I uploaded yesterday was pre-recorded. And now I verified my account so I can make longer than 15 minutes. But I can get this series finally on! And, yes, if I can do some editing, I will either A, skip the adult content. Because I need to skip ahead and see how it disables it, and it doesn't disable it really well. Tell me, do you have anything planned for Friday evening? Friday evening? No, I forgot their voices. Isn't your flight to Scotland the next day? I don't think it'll be a good idea to tire yourself out before you even get there. It'll be alright. You needn't worry about me. I'd do this tomorrow evening, but I imagine Hanako will be feeling rather off for a while. The thought of how she's going to be tomorrow makes me grimace. Maybe we should count our blessings that she didn't end up simply throwing up from drinking as much of while having such a low tolerance. Well, I'm going to be able to attend whatever you're planning. What is it? Nothing unusual, I assure you. Just a little excursion. And you better be up, Hisao. I can't imagine it's long at all until curfew is here. Oh, darn, curfew! I'd completely forgotten. I look at the clock next to Lily's bed, but it seems to be oddity without written numerals, which I suppose makes sense given Lily's condition. Not wanting to risk a haunted security patrol giving me a scolding, I get up and decide to go to my dorm as she says. Well then, I guess I'll see you and Hanako tomorrow, assuming the both of you manage to get up in the morning. Thank you for your concern, Hisao. Until then. With that, I make my way out of her door and into the hallway. I hope her idea will be a good one. Oh man. Oh, dude, passing of time. Katawa Shoujo. Now that I can do it way longer, I definitely will be like doing everybody else's. The hammering of a fist against the door feels like a nail being pounded in my head. That seems loud just because I put my volume down. I put my volume up. Only twice, 3 times, I let a long, annoyed breath and bear it while pressing my eyelids shut, fervently hoping for whoever it is just to go away. I feel pretty darn awful. My face feels like it's cast out of lead, my arms feel heavy, and palms are sweaty. Never mind. And I feel very queasy. It's been like this since I woke up half an hour ago. And I can't summon the energy to pick myself out of bed. So, this is what they call a hangover. I'm the first the best treatment for teenagers who discipline want to try drinking has really feel like an adult. Considering how unpleasant this is, it's not something I want to repeat. Serious dumpster rings out again, reverberating around the small room. I should just give up already. I have no intentions of getting out of bed for them. Seconds pass, turning to minutes. Since no more knocks are coming from the door, whoever was must have left. Thank goodness. Looking at my clock, the time when I really should think about getting dressed and ready for class is approaching. I don't think I can manage it though. I hate cutting class, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get much done at this rate. I can tell I look like a mess without needing to look in the mirror to confirm it too. I've never cut class. This year I've been late at least like 2 times to class. And it was during language arts, and I have language arts after gym. So yeah, I've only been late because of gym. And trying to get my book out of my locker. The morning rush is giving me enough time to stand outside the classroom for a little while without looking too suspicious. I hope that Mutao doesn't ask any awkward questions about my not attending school yesterday. I was sick, that much is true. It was just the reason for that I have to hide. Confident I can get by with a tactical omission of certain truths, stride into the classroom doing my best to appear normal. The instant I open the door and take a step, I can feel a dozen eyes looking at me. There's no way I'm imagining this, not even making any attempt to hide it. My eyes take a quick sweep. I saw that. Quick sweep around the classroom and I spot Hanako. We make eye contact momentarily before she looks down and stares very hard at her desk. Look at that, see? Did she spill the beans? Mutao may be okay as far as teachers go, but underage drinking on the campus is not exactly something that would be taken lightly. I looked at him with some trepidation. Feeling better today? Yeah, thank you. Motion for me to take my seat, my legs feeling like sticks as they carry me there. This is going to be a long day. As soon as the lunch bell rings, I'm on my way to Hanako's desk asking what's going on. You know, I just noticed was the student council. Hanako, did you tell? She looks at me and shakes her head. That's a big relief. It's just. Well, hello there, He-chan. It's nice to see you again today. I spoke too soon. Shizune's face. I'm sorry, but her face. I grimaced and turned towards the unmistakable voice coming from behind me. That was way too upbeat a tone of voice to feel comfortable, even for Misha. Misha's happy smile is nothing out of usual. Shizune's though is a very bad sign. The one she was has become notion in my brain as I have got you 7 ways from Sunday smile. Hi Shizune, Misha, you look happy to see me. ... Not feeling well yesterday, He-chan? No, I wasn't, but I'm feeling better now at least. ... That's good to know, He-chan. Why do I get the feeling that Shizune is leading me to a trap? You sound like you're not being completely serious. ... Oh no, He-chan, we're generally pleased that you're all better now. ... Shizune is positively overflowing with happiness. The only one reason why she would be like this. Oh no. In fact, we're quite worried about you after all. You, Hanako, and Lily were all absent from class on the same day. Yep, she got us. So thoroughly that all I can do is sign defeat. I guess you have your own theories about this. Could you just kinda not tell anyone? It's a bit late for that, He-chan. I suppose she's right, considering the look I got as I entered the class. Still things only seem to be at the level of vague suspicion, rather than outright accusation, so we'll probably be fine. Hanuko's face sinks a little further. Such attention is troublesome enough for me, let alone for her. Going by Shizune and Misha's reaction, I think they noticed this as well. The only reason why we're giving you such a hard time is that you noticed yesterday morning. Yesterday morning? It took a while to recollect what happened. Then, given the haze induced by a generally awful state, I was in a temp. Oh right, the knocking. That was useful. It was, and you left there for ages after we'd taken all the effort of coming to your dormitory early in the morning. So I'm sorry, I was having a problem with nausea. Yeah, a problem with nausea. They're not buying it. I can't blame them. Junie hops, drops in recognition before she reaches into her pocket. Do you have pockets? Whatever. Something white and yellow can be sticking out a little, and as she pulls it out, it turns out to be an envelope with very bright decorations on it. They couldn't have just slid it under the door? Since she points it towards me, I duly take it. This is what we're trying so hard to give you, He-chan. You don't check your... Tune out the sound of Misha's voice as my eyes register what's written on the envelope. Iwanako. Stare at the envelope for a moment before I suddenly remember that there were people around me. The very strange, somewhat invasive feeling about their expressions. Kind of want to be alone right now. Iwanako? It's nothing. Thank you for bringing me this, you two. I should think so after what we went through to get to you. I step back and say my goodbyes. Misha theatrically pouts even as I go out the door. But Shizune and Hanako remain very visibly curious about my reaction. I hope they won't interrogate me on this later. The smells of the garden is, as always, a very pleasant sensation. Some of the most visible signs of how well funded the school is, aside from its sheer size, are the expansive condition of the grounds. A good number of students can be seen eating lunch, chatting, and playing on the bright green lawns. Even some of the staff is enjoying the summer here, keeping watch over the students and idly walking along the long concrete paths. I'd never seen a sight like this in my home city. On excursions maybe, but certainly never in a school anywhere near where I lived. Even the bench I sit on to read is warmer thanks to the summertime sun. Remind me of why I haven't worn a school blazer even once yet. Considering this, the sunflower and splashes of vibrant yellow adorning the paper are quite appropriate for the time. If only the words written on it were as well. Sorry. My heart just started to hurt for no reason. It does that sometimes. Here I was thinking I managed to get over her when this troublesome thing shows up. What a coincidence. You saw as a heart condition, my heart randomly would hurt. We couldn't be more similar, could we? Her handwriting looks vaguely familiar at best. Only now that I see it again, I remember that she used to write in pink pen a lot. She was always very girly, for lack of a better term. But she was also quite fragile. I never knew if I liked this aspect of her or not, though with the arrival of this letter, the question seems to have become largely moot. The letter begins with not much more than an update on the state of things going on in her life. My old class had a good start to the school year. Many are anxious about the exams that will be coming up in the future, etc. But ends on a very personal, if brief note. It feels like a bit she wrote most of the letter just to try and soften the blow from the ending. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I am really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most. Even though I like you so much, at least now, finally, I can be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you not to give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you managed to get back on your feet on your own. No, now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you are doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Hanako. And so, that's that. Our relationship is over. Nice, neat, and tidy with no ambiguity. Whatever. I haven't held on to any illusions that I could ever begin anew. The last time she visited me, none of us said a thing except for the one where she said that she left for the last time. Goodbye. But that as it may, this feels more final. The capstone on an experiment that both of us tried and failed at. A loud shout draws my eyes away from the letter. It's just some students horsing around with one of the teachers standing nearby coming over to talk to them. Are you okay? A tentative voice comes to my side. For a moment I assume it to be Hanako, but it's actually Yuko. Oh, hello Yuko, I thought you'd be in the library. She gives a cheerful smile, one quite fitting the atmosphere, and flourishes the empty wrapper of a roll in her hand. She must have someone else covering for her while she grabs something to eat. Reminds me that I haven't had anything to eat yet. I don't feel hungry though. Skipping one lunch won't hurt. Mind if I sit here? Sure, go ahead. I quickly slide the letter back into its envelope, slipping it inside my bag propped against the side of the bench. As Yuko takes a seat, she drops the wrapper into a bin beside us. Without much else to do, I lean back and take what enjoyment I can from the sun, silently reflecting on the letter. The lush lawns, the clear blue skies, everything looks so different from the way it did back then. Even the school surroundings, from the hill it's on to the woods around it, are completely opposite to the urban scenery I remember. Maybe this is what it feels like to be homesick. Then again, it's not an outright bad sensation. The feel of the area around Yamaku are very different. It's also nice. I think I could get used to it. Hey Hisao? Yeah? You still didn't answer my question from before. I wasn't going to say anything, but you still look troubled. If you don't want to say anything though, that's okay. I don't mind at all. I'm just sorry for asking something strange like that. I don't mind. Just, I got a letter from someone I knew before I came to Yamaku. It made me think about some things. I thought I'd managed to get over most of the problems that my accident caused, but now I'm not really so sure. I kinda wish I'd never seen it. I don't think that's good, Hisao. Why, don't ignore the phone. When my boyfriend left me, he did so very suddenly, never let me know why. At first I was very depressed about it, but I decided to forgive him. You forgave him? Couldn't he at least have talked properly with you about it? He was always one of those people that found it difficult to come close to others. In the end, I decided that I fell in love with him for a reason. He was a good person, and I think that if I had been in his position, I would probably have found it just as hard to try and talk to him. I don't really see the connection to the letter I got. I mean that, how should I put this? It must have been very hard for that person to send a letter, and if they did, I think they must have thought very hard about exactly what to say. Hanako managed to write this letter and bring a final close to our relationship, something that I never managed to do. Whereas here I am, trying to protect and help Hanako as best as I can. Sorry, I'm back. Does that make sense? She's taking my non-responsive forward brows down. She really faces too much, just like a certain other person. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's tie. The letter was just kind of a shock, really. I think I tried to fool myself into thinking that my life reset when I came into Yamako. But now I'm starting to worry that it didn't. I'm a bit of a loss about how to deal with these feelings. I think that's something I can't really help you out with. Sorry. It's fine. I think being able to talk with you helped me to get things sorted out a bit better in my head. So thank you anyway. She nods and smiles sweetly. Yuko is a nice girl, so it's a shame she's so highly strung so often. The school bell rings out, startles us both. I was supposed to be back before the bell. Oops. She jumps off the bench and almost races off without a second word, but turns on her heel, as she remembers she was just talking to me just now. I'll see you later, Hisao. Cheer up, okay? I'll try to. Thanks, Yuko. With a quick bow, Yuko takes her leave and begins her rush to the library. Her flight catches the curious eyes of a few passengers who are unenthusiastically trudging back to their classes after the fun. Reluctantly standing from the bench, I dust myself off and join them. Even while I walk through the gardens back to the main building, the thought of the letter in my bag doesn't stray far from my mind. The feeling of walking through the streets is one of very deep nostalgia. While Yamako may be like the reverse of where I've lived in the past, the city at night is amazingly familiar. My eyes are moving constantly from the bright electronic screens glowing high in the night sky to the street lamps piercing the darkness with their light, to the businessmen enjoying themselves after work and the busily talking couples on dates. Even if I didn't want to, can't help but soaking in every aspect of the city. I savor its familiarity like a sweet candy sitting on my tongue. Lily is walking to my left with her cane swaying to and fro, holding onto her sister's arm for guidance while talking to her. Compared to traveling by taxi or bus, being driven by Akira in her restless car was a much more enjoyable experience. What the fuck? Bruh. That's her casual clothes. I can see why she wore the hat, you know. I can't see everything else for I think. Maybe not for the person on my right though. While Lily was used to her sister's driving style, and I quite liked a bit of excitement, Hanako was holding very tightly to the door for most of the trip. Everything looks so pretty at night. Hanako quickly looks down yet again as she accidentally catches someone's gaze. Yeah, it does. My answer isn't very thoughtful since I'm distracted by so many thoughts that I find it hard to keep up on small talk. One of those distractions aside from the city sights is how Hanako looks. This is the first time I've seen her in something other than her school uniform or her pajamas. It gave me pause when I first saw her outfit when we first met up at the school gate. Considering how much her head is lowered when people walk near us, that hair she's wearing. Well, initially I was worried of Lily's plans to take us out into the city. When night fell, it became obvious she had thought about this. Not many people have paid Hanako much heed since the darkness. So, we're in the city. Any ideas on what to do? Kira beams smile. Something tells me that she's the one who is making this particular decision, even if her sister may have proposed the dating in the first place. Yoshi, just follow us. I nod and try my best to stifle a grimace. So what happened during Hanako's... Wait a second. You guys can read that right there. Every once in a while, a drunken man in a suit comes out of a bar, usually being supported by another, but for the most part, the customers around this part of the city look young and fashionable. Different kinds of music come and go as... Gosh dang darn it. Hanako and I have started to drift a little apart from Lily and Akira. That comes to a stop when I hear a soft thud beside me. Sorry. By the time she rights herself from her apologetic bow, the middle-aged businessman she bumped into is walking away after mumbling a half-hearted apology. Hanako looks a little put off by the experience, and as she quickly skips ahead to match my pace, I notice her head hanging low once more. She probably bumped into him because she was looking downwards and not where she was going. Step to the side a little, put one hand on her father's shoulder, drawing her closer. She's out? It's okay. You can walk closer to me if you want. Hanako hesitates but eventually nods in assent. After a couple of times when I thought we had arrived at Akira's destination, we reached our target, but now we're below the elevated walkways and past the most garish and brightly lit places. I'm a bit surprised. The average age of those around us is distinctly older, and the smell of cigarette smoke is pretty thick. The area is far from seedy though, and the little music you see Lily's reaction to the smell of the smoke. While it's masked by the low talking of those people around us, jazz music can be heard emanating from inside. Looking up at the dimly lit sign, it became obvious why. A jazz club. I have to admit, this isn't what I expected. Lily gives an amused snort and a smile. Somehow, I feel like I should have known it, Akira. As we talk outside, I notice more odd, sideways glances directed our way. People awkwardly catch themselves staring and look away, but that just makes it more obvious. I had noticed this occasionally when we were walking, but it's more pronounced now. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. An average-looking Japanese teenager, just a little taller than normal, isn't the type to draw attention without making an effort. Hey, come on, just because you're a teenager doesn't mean you can't have a taste, right? I don't know what that means. Well, I don't really mind the music, if that's what you mean. I don't mind it either. She's only just managing to force the words out. It contrasts heavily to when we're alone in Yamako. And it disappoints me a little that she's so highly strung for what's supposed to be a good time out on the town. It's hard to read Hanako's face if she keeps looking downwards. It's a little wonder if she doesn't often come out into the city because of this. It makes me a little thankful that my own scarring is easily hidden. Lilia has a similar way of attracting people's gazes, but the reason for it is clearly different. She hardly looks like a native, and the same can be said for her sister. That much is far noticeable more than her blindness from a distance. She may not be able to see this for herself, but I have little doubt she can hear the odd whispered phrases from people who think they're out of earshot. Be that as it may, she doesn't seem to show any sign of either annoyance or pleasure at the attention. Kira still acts confident as ever though, flashing a smile. She strides in with Lily by her side and the two of us following behind. I had expected my eyes to need adjusting to the light inside, but it's not much brighter than outside. The music we heard is clear now, mixing with the sound of glasses moving on the tables and counter, and the husky chatter of the patrons. Looking on my right reveals the music source, a jazz group playing beyond some tables. The patrons seem to be mostly men, and though there's a handful of women, nobody looks under 30 aside from us, of course. Feels a little like we've stepped into the 1920s and the atmosphere is quite agreeable, but I'm not completely comfortable simply because of my age. But while older, I would probably feel quite at home. Hanako seems a bit more relaxed now, probably due to nobody looking at her. Everybody's talking between themselves, drinking, or watching the band. Akira casually takes a seat at the counter before even glancing around. She'd probably come here before. Lily retracts her cane, feeling out the bar stool on the edge of the counter before taking a seat beside her sister. The bartender takes a brief break from polishing a glass to watch her before putting it down and smiling. Putting it down and coming over. My turn. Good evening, ladies. What'll it be? Just a scotch. Thanks. Lily? May I have a glass of A black-suited elbow hits her side sharply. Orange juice, please. No problem, coming right up. The bartender starts to pour the drinks. A couple of seconds have passed before Akira suddenly remembers that Hanako and I are indeed here, and turns around to us. You two want anything, or are you just gonna stand there? Hanako seems to be getting a bit restless, no matter where we're going. No matter where we're going to see her, so there's gonna be people right next to her, and although she looks convincingly older than 20, unlike Lily. Look around at the game section to our right. A couple of billiards tables can be seen in the corner. Nobody's using them either. I glanced at Hanako, about to ask her if she'd like to play, but she's already looking longingly in the direction. Maybe it's something that we can get by with so few words nowadays. We'll go play pool over there. Q leans back to see past me, for shrugging and sitting back up. Seems that you have to put up with me only for company. How unfortunate. Have fun, you two. We turn and set off for the abandoned corner of Hanako taking the lead. The prospect of a nice quiet game away from everyone makes her walk noticeably faster. Her eyes stay firmly fixed on her prize. The table's full size and well lit despite the surrounding darkness. Thanks to the bright overhead lights, a huge painting of something covers the wall. There aren't many people milling about the corner of this club, and I can see Hanako becoming a little tense as a result. You know how to play? I'm no expert yet, but yeah I do. Here we go again. Then, 8-ball? I've only played pool, like, in video games. I'm a loser, right? Sure. Hanako gets a chuck and the two cues from a set of hooks against one of the walls, while I fetch the balls from the table's pockets and grab the rack from a shelf underneath. She patiently waits as I get the table set up after slotting the final ball into the rack and doing some last adjustments. I end up having to fight my perfectionist urges and getting the bottom row balls exactly perpendicular with the edges. With the balls arranged and ready for play, I step back and take my cue from her outstretched arm. I carry out a quick inspection of the tip before I'm satisfied that it's in good condition. So, you've played before? Once or twice. I just kind of
know the rules.
The air between us feels a little bit awkward. She's still pretty nervous, understandably given that we're in public. Eventually, the silence becomes too much even for Hanako, and she begins to quietly stammer.
Whole break.
Think for a moment before reaching into my pocket and drawing a coin. I'll take heads, you tails. After a nod from agreement, I flick the coin up in the air, catch it, and flip it over on the back of my left hand. Why do they flip it to the back of the left hand? Because that just completely takes away the flip. It's like a cute that gets the break. Whoa! Alright. I wasn't expecting this a little bit. So not usually just quiet around me. I'm not wholly sure if it's because of a tidbit of information about her past that slipped out moments ago. The cue comes back in a practice to gesture before smacking dead into the center of the cue ball with a thud. Why is my light on? Oh. The white ball skates across the smooth green expanse before smashing into the carefully arranged balls at the end of the end. Ball skidded across the table at high speeds. The break was good. With the ball being nicely distributed on the table, my eyes are already flicking from one to another to pick out the easiest candidates to pocket. Hanako retreats from the side and I take my shot.
Well done.
It's only after Hanako says that I realized the ball I was shooting at was sunk. I look at her and notice a small smile on her face. It's nice how playing games seems to loosen her up a little. I guess I'm stripes then. Take a step back and let her take the shot, but she doesn't advance to the table. Right as she looks down a little and rubs her arm. But now I identify as one of her gestures that means she wants to say something, but isn't sure enough of herself to do it. What's up?
It's just... you had a nice smile. Do you like playing this?
I sigh and lean back against the table. I like playing. Yeah, I think I was smiling because it's really nostalgic though. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. Me and my friends used to play pool in the game centers near where we lived pretty often at night too.
What are your parents?
My parents both work and they didn't mind me not being in the house. I stayed on top of schoolwork pretty easily as well, so there was plenty of time to do other stuff at night. Our conversation dies down with Hanako timidly getting the better of her. In response, I get off the table and let her take her turn shooting. What the? Bruh. There aren't many solids in an easy position, so Hanako bends down and takes a while to line herself up properly. Why you gotta zoom in though? Hanako's expression is the same as when we play chess. A relaxed but focused concentration. Athletes sometimes talk about getting into the zone. Wait a second, I'm sending a message because I have to. Why you zoom in though? The posture is good, better than mine to be sure. It's very close to a textbook method of playing, whereas I tend to contort myself into whatever position I feel is most natural for shot I'm taking. I didn't notice, I thought like none of her lips, her mouth was burned, but I guess I'm wrong. Seems like at least like a little bit of it is burned. She lines up the cue comes back and she does a couple of practice movements to make sure she's lined up correctly. Hanako takes games so seriously, it's only the real hobby I know she has. Instead of reading, it feels good to be able to share this kind of experience with her. She takes a shot after careful consideration and the cue ball zooms off towards a ball sitting at a slightly awkward angle near a corner. Hanako's careful preparation pays off as the cue ball hits and sends the ball rolling towards the corner pocket. For a moment it looks like it will stop just on the lip of the hole, but eventually tilts just enough to drop in. Man, that was a hard shot. If you can pull that off, I don't think I have much hope.
I'm not that good.
It's not just a shot though. Even when lining up, you looked really serious. You're like that. You're like this with chess, too. The praise makes her a little flustered. She sets the cue. She sets the cue against the table and stands, turning to me.
I just like those kind of things.
Her fingers are twisting and turning tightly.
Ah, my heart!
Stop hurting, please.
When I was in the orphanage, I just kept doing the things I liked before. If I played games with the others, that was enough for the helpers there, so...
Never thought about it that way. Staff at an orphanage would naturally want to have everyone socialize at least a little. If it's okay for me to ask, what was it like for you at the orphanage?
What? Why do you want to know?
Cause I've touched a nerve, but the fact that she responded at all shows us at least a chance she'll answer my question. Before, she likely would have just shrunk away from it without a word.
I'll tell you, but
But?
could you tell me who Iwa Nako is?
Iwanako? Oh, the letter! I wonder how long she's been waiting for the right opportunity to ask me this. I'm surprised, but don't hesitate. Sharing information is naturally a matter of give and take. She's someone. Sorry, that's my iPod. Playing a game right now. She's someone I used to like. Her nervousness subsided, at least for the time, for me to ask. Curiosity is getting the best of her, and I feel a bit uncomfortable to be questioned on this. Of all matters, there's no way I could spill out all my feelings about Iwanako here. I don't even wanna. I don't even know what my feelings regarding her are. Even after talking to Yuko earlier, and I want to avoid the subject on Hanako. Hanako doesn't look overly satisfied with the awkward ending to the discussion, but thinks better of continuing it. She was just only managing to ask me in the first place without even know what I want to talk about it. I moved to finally take my own shot. The lack of talking between us is filled by the chatter of other patrons in the band at the other end of the club. Spying a shot that doesn't look too difficult, I try and shoot for it. The cue ball taps the ball, and the trajectory is about right, but I put in too much power. It grazes the corner off the hole, moves off to the side, just skirting its pocket. I grit my teeth a little. I was pretty good at this game, and it's frustrating to have deteriorated so much. I step back and let Hanako take a turn, glancing towards the corner where Lily and Akira are sitting. They're talking busily between themselves and seem to be having a good time. I turn back to Hanako. She takes a shot with the same face as before. She lines herself up and sharply pushes the cue. Just as before, she sinks the ball she was aiming for. It drops into the side pocket more cleanly than her last. It looks like she's getting a ball more into the groove of the game. Nicely done. She hesitates for a moment and begins to address me without turning her head.
The orphanage was nice. It felt a bit like Yamaku does, and the staff was really kind. But as the years went on, I realized something. I was different.
Feels strange to hear her speak so candidly about herself. She's audibly forcing the words out. It reminds me of when she insisted she tell me about the fire. Hanako must feel that she has to tell me of such things if I'm willing to tell her about my own past. Her grip on the cue tightens as she continues to speak.
Most of the children there were up for adoption, just like I was. But unlike me, they gradually left, one by one. By the time I went to Yamako, I was among the oldest children there. For a while, I helped with some of the younger children, but eventually...
I lay a hand on her shoulder. She's forcing herself by now. It's okay. She looks mildly surprised for a moment, but then nods before setting down her cue and turning towards me.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I think so. Even while Lily's away, I'll be around to protect you, right? Hanako looks at me for a long time, and I'm taken a bit off guard. Her expression hasn't changed from before. It still looks somewhat maudlin, and silences between us aren't unusual. I think it's the fact that she's holding such prolonged eye contact that makes us feel a bit odd. Feels as if she's judging me. It's very strange. It's vaguely uncomfortable feeling. Hanako?
I understand. Thank you.
She smiles and looks away a little, but it feels stilted. Hanako is very good at faking emotions, and this is no exception. I move to the table and take my turn to try and distract myself, but it doesn't seem to work. Does she think I'm not up to the task of helping her? Is she disappointed in me? I'm probably overthinking this, while her silence are just an accepted fact of life. By now, it's something I do wish she'd speak more. With a thought, I send a white sphere careening down the table into my target. Hanako sees what's happening is just as I do. The ball hits hard with the straight the ball I intend to sink, veering off towards the 8 ball. Sure enough, as both Hanako and I look and bite our lips, the connect and the black ball rolls leisurely into a corner pocket. All I can do is sigh. Looks like Hanako is smiling again though, so maybe it wasn't for naught. That was an awful shot. You win. It seems I'm getting pretty rusty after all this time. Hanako bends down and begins to shoot the remaining balls into the closest pockets. I almost ask if we could play another game, but a quick check on my watch confirms that the night is getting pretty late. Lily and Akira appear to be drinking at the counter. Seems like we'll have to drag them away.
Hisao?
Turn back to Hanako, who's still looking over the pool table shooting balls. Her voice sounds different from before.
I'm here for you as well.
I suddenly find myself blushing. It's only natural that she respond this way, given what I said earlier, but it's still a shock to actually hear it. Just what is my relationship with this girl? I want to protect her, to make her happy. I want to protect her, to make her happy. I'm not really sure what is something, I don't know, that is something like love, but I don't think that these are the same kind of feelings I have for Lily either. I feel sorry for her, having gone through so much in her life. Her parents died in a house fire. She lived in an orphanage for much of her childhood. I can't even imagine that kind of life. But I feel like there's so little I can do for her. Especially now that Lily is going to be leaving the country. Hanako and I finished tidying up the tables and cues and pick up Lily and Akira on our way out of the club. Feels like something changed between Hanako and me. I can't quite place it what it is, but Hanako is acting differently now. I can feel like we're further apart if anything. So, you enjoy yourselves? Hanako and I both nod and agree the game was good and we both did learn more about each other, so it's an honest answer. Lily appears to be a little distracted. Worried about the trip, Lily? She pauses before signing and smiling weakly. A little, it means quite a bit. The comment earned her a clap on the shoulder from her sister. Hanako smiles back too.
You'll be okay, Lily. I hope you can enjoy your time over there.
Thank you, Hanako. I'll try to. It'll be nice to be back with my family after all, no matter for how brief a time it may be. With that, the four of us begin to walk to the car park where Akira's car is. We continue to walk between ourselves with mostly just small talk. I am really loving the story by far and the artwork. I know the person who made the story, Corporal Crud. Hands out to you, man. But I've seen the beta ending, to be sad, the bad and good ones, so they are the bad endings are wow. You would not look at Hanako the same way ever again. And I think if I can download the beta ending, I will definitely do it and show you, and do her good ending. Right then, are you taking the bus, Lily? Lily motions to a large suitcase standing beside her. I had to take this with me, so I booked a taxi. I'll meet us at the school gates in about 5 minutes. Ah, I see. Lily reaches down and feels with the hand over the suitcase. Its weight causes her some difficulty, so I quickly offer to take it myself. That's awfully kind of you, Hisao. She has no qualms about accepting, and I end up picking it up. It's not what I'd call light, but it's not exactly heavy either, so I don't think I'd have too much trouble carrying it. Oh, thank you then. We should hurry though. If the taxi leaves, then it will take quite a while to book a new one. Are you ready, Hanako?
Yeah, let's go.
We rush to the gate as fast as we can, only to find the taxi has yet to arrive. Well, nothing like a bit of exercise in the morning. The nurse told me I should be doing that. Think he probably had other things in mind, Hisao, and probably more regularity. Do you tend to be helping people with their luggage every day? I guess not. I think we got a bit to wait. Anyway, how long should we wait for the taxi before calling them again? I would probably stay another 10 minutes, but they've never let me down before. It's probably just a little traffic. Okay then. So how long is the flight to Scotland? For 16 hours, if I remember correctly. It's a bit hard to tell with the changing time zones. Oh, time zones suck! East is American time zones, Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time. I think there's Mountain Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time.
So long.
It's now that I realize Hanako's been unusually quiet, even for her. She doesn't handle stress well, so she's looking really uptight. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a plane for that long. Dude, planes are awesome! I've only flown on a short family holiday up north, so it is really quite hard to fathom. If Hanako spent so much of her childhood in an orphanage, she's probably traveled very little, let alone flown. I've traveled on airplanes. I like them, as long as they have TVs, then they're nice. It's not too bad. I spent most of it as a sleep for catching up on my English. It's hard. I hardly use it there, so I hardly use that here, so I need to refamiliarize myself with it a little. Yeah, I like to adding new English words every day.
will your accent be a problem?
I wouldn't worry too much. It may be an issue initially, once I get used to it. We all moved to sit down on a small bench besides the school gate in silence. Strangely enough, though, I know that Lily's going away. I can't think of anything to say to her. Lily is a reliable person, so it might be because she's the one that I'm thinking of most. Lily might not be able to see it, but Hanako's chewing her fingernails nervously. I move to talk to her, but I can hear an engine straining up the hill before I get the chance. I think the taxi's on its way. Well, spotted Hisao, I only just heard it as well. Small wave of pride washes over me, too. I've noticed something at the same time as Lily must mean that I'm becoming more aware of my surroundings. And I can't feel my arm. My arm has gone numb. Anyway, we won't have to call the taxi company, nor worry about missing Lily's plane. Once the taxi stops where we're standing, the driver rolls down the window and leans over, confirming that yes, Lily is the same Lily Satao that booked the trip to sort out her luggage. The driver opens the trunk of the taxi and takes Lily's suitcase, with Lily climbing into the back seat as he loads it into the trunk and slams it shut. After getting back into his seat and shutting the doors, he waits for us to say our farewells.
Have a safe trip, Lily.
Take care of yourself. Hanako looks understandably downcast, and that much is obvious even to us. Of course I will. I'll be back before long. Don't worry. There will still be another person for you too. What the? Hisao. Yeah, of course. Turn to smile to Hanako, putting my hand on her shoulder. She only manages to keep eye contact with me for a couple of seconds. Her cheeks are red all the while before turning back to Lily. They don't look red. Liars. See you, Lily.
Goodbye.
Lily gives a farewell to us both with a fair measure of reluctance. Now she's kind of blushing. Without further ado, the driver starts the engine once more, and they begin the journey down the hill and towards the airport. If burn scars actually look like this, I wouldn't mind. But I search Google and they look really, really awful. Like, if burnt scars really looked the way they drew it, I wouldn't be fine looking at somebody with burnt scars. But the way it looks like in real life, it looks way too a little weird. So, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
Do I want, I mean, like, I'm gonna go based on real life. Who the heck would once call it a day? Considering, what is it, the next day? Yeah, it's the next day. You wanna go to the city? The bus stops, standing by the school gates, like a mute sentinel puts a strange idea in my mind. Do you wanna head into town and look for a bookshop or something? We have the rest of the day free. It's a long shot. Hanako doesn't like going into the city. I count the fact that we managed to get her out there even when it was dark as a small miracle, but I generally want to spend more time with her. Anyway, she's likely to refuse and go back to...
Okay.
Really? What if I say really? Like that? Like surprised? My voice cracks.
Well, really? Let's go.
Can't walk away. Hanako decided to agree with me, but I'm not about to ask her to change her mind. Stepping off the bus, I immediately noticed that a lot of people are around us. In hindsight, it should have been obvious. Of course, lots of people will be downtown on a Sunday afternoon. Hanako retreats close to my side, and I can feel her hand clutching my arm tightly. Her body is held against mine, and her head is bowed so low that her hat hides most of her scarring. So, where shall we go? A bookshop? Hanako's present, and my general living expenses have pretty much drained my budget. But I should be able to afford a few books. It's something I try to reserve a few funds for anyways. For a second, I think Hanako didn't hear me, but then I looked to my side and noticed her nodding almost imperceptibly.
Okay. Do you know of one?
Actually, I do. We passed a few when Lily and I were looking for your presents. Hanako is brushing clouds of fraction. I've got to remember to stop bringing up her birthday. Hisao, you have such a way worse memory than I do, man. Wait.
Both spent a lot of time?
Or maybe I misjudged the situation. She's getting jealous! We wanted to make sure we got the right present after all. Hanako smiles and blushes a little. It's a small treasure when she does. I don't know why, like in anime or pictures, that when the character blushes, there's like these little lines going to the side. Ever notice that? Anyway, there should be a bookshop just ahead. You want to check it out?
Sure.
The crowd starts to build as we head towards the bookshop along the waist high walkway. Hanako latches her arm onto me as well, making our progress a little slower. As we walk, the sound of traffic makes me think of a possible distraction for her. I was wondering, Hanako, have you thought yet about when you're going to learn to drive?
Driving?
Well, yeah, she did just turn 18. And this is Japan. I don't know when you can learn to drive. And they are in, like, high school. Yeah, you're kind of lucky in a way. There aren't a whole lot of students in Yamako that are allowed to drive. It's not the best topic of conversation, but I want to try and distract Hanako from the situation. She's really high-strung now, right now. To dinner, all I really done is make her feel awkward, since she's probably never thought about it. I wish I hadn't said anything. Before long, we were before one of the bookshops. Lily and I passed by doing our search. What kind of self-respecting bookshop closes on Saturdays?
Bookshops don't make much money anymore because of the internet. Maybe they just had to close over weekends.
She seems pretty knowledgeable about technology. I guess it's a pursuit that would lend itself well to someone who enjoys solitude. Huh. I guess it makes sense. It's easy to find books online. Anyway, it looks like the idea is shot. Anything else you'd like to do?
If it's not a bother, could you show me where you bought my present?
Sure, not a problem. It's far from here. Not a problem. It's not far from here. I head off in the direction of the store, only half sure of its exact location. I don't want to repeat of the last time spending half the day walking around aimlessly. Here we are, our fellow's antiques.
It's small.
Well, yes, it took Lily and me some time to find it.
Can we go in?
I don't really see why not. It's open. Hanako pushes through the door and enters before me. Once again, the store is empty save for the store owner. His face drops a little when he sees me. Oh, you're not here for a return, are you? Wait, that's not the girl you had with you last time. Oh no, we're not here to return anything. We were just in town and wanted to have another look in here. Store owner considered this for quite a long time. I guess he's not used to get high school students come to a shop on a regular basis. But just be the friend you bought gifts for. That's right, they were presents for her. The store owner turns to Hanako, who freezes on the spot like a deer caught in his headlights. He moves to adjust his her, but before doing so, looking a little taken back. He catches himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense as his entire body. I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise, then curiosity, then an awkward look away as I dealt with what I had seen. Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think that feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger, no annoyance. If anything, it's one of apology. You're lucky there, young lady, to have friends that care much about you as they do.
Thank you.
If I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't have realized that she said anything. Then again, the store owner's mumble was hardly clear either, thanks in part to being directed away from us. Hanako strikes out in the store, gazing around at the various items on display. She finds the doll section. What the heck is that photo? Okay. She finds the doll section and spends lingering minutes studying each and every one. This side of Hanako I've only barely been introduced to. I was astonished when Lily and she liked dolls. And even more to find her so collection of quotes sitting on the dresser, because there were like 3 there. She looks a little better now that she's distracted and out of the store owner's sight, but still quite put off by the whole experience. I might have had my own problems, but I've never had strangers react to me like that, as if I was something completely alien to them.
This is a nice shop.
Yeah, it's not what I expected. Do you want to buy something?
I didn't bring any money.
Too bad, you were gonna pay. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we can always come back again. Now that I know where to find it, that is.
We can?
Of course, you can come here as often as you like.
Thank you.
You don't need to thank me. I almost forgot what this place was. I don't really think either of us believes in what we're saying, but rather we're just repeating what we think we should say.
Okay. Can we go back to school now?
Sure thing, let's go. As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner pick through the curtains at the back of the shop. I'm not really sure what the glance he gives to her says. Feels a bit weird, and the fact that Hanako didn't see it is both a relief and a bit frustrating. Hanako and I stop walking once we reach a concrete area between the dormitory buildings. There was barely a word said between us on the way back from the city.
Well then, goodbye.
Do you want to have some tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassedly.
I'm tired. Maybe later? I've got homework.
She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously doesn't want to do more, but I suppose she would have had a bit of homework to catch up on. She's missed a few days of lessons. Ah, homework. Thanks for reminding me. I've got a stack to do as well. I guess tomorrow.
See you, Hisao.
Before I could say goodbye, Hanako has turned and began walking towards the entrance to the female dormitory building. I look at the building, she disappears, looked over for a bit, before going off towards my own dorms. Today was a tiring day. Also, oh, the music, why? No, we need to look at that again. We're almost done, guys. This is Act 4. I think this is the last one. Act 4. Scars. It's my scar. I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, quickly slipped on my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my bag, and headed off. Oh, that's for my usual daily routine. That's basically me, except I can't do that because I wake up like 40 minutes before the bus comes. I eat first, then take my pills. No, I wake up, put my uniform on, brush my teeth, put my uniform on, eat breakfast, then take my pills, and then leave. It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classes trickled into the room over the next hours. So every empty seat was eventually taken, other than Hanako's. Shizune has no eyes, apparently. That person has no eyes, and so does that guy. Oh, that person. I can never get used to the idea that she doesn't show up to the class every now and again. Feels all the more worrying now as well, given that Lily left. As Mutao continues to drone on, I find myself gaze flicking every so often to her seat, as if she might appear there at any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence, but they have a little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all. I'm sorry if you're seeing this. I'm so not professional, but who really cares? I'm just seeing this to see how many videos I recorded. I intend to put this all into an hour special celebration of me being able to do hour videos now. I'm just gonna see how many I recorded. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Alright. So this one should be the last one. At least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it was apparently much more spotty beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday. And my suspicion is starting to rise after the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. I thought it was her birthday already. Gosh darn it. And an increasing amount of my thought is taken up by how I can help her, but in the end, I feel like I can't do anything. The bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class. The Muta looks quite put off. I wish our bell sounded like that. Instead it's like, meh. Literally, like, meh. You're not even ding ling 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 ling. He just likes being interrupted in the middle of his exciting lectures after all. Just when I'm wondering what I should do on lunch break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself.
Afternoon, He-chan.
I like this music. This music seems peaceful. Afternoon, Misha, Shizune, you both look as bright as ever.
He-chan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today.
Sure, it'd be good to have some company. The cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old schools did. Yamako is different though in how strangely civilized the lunchtime rushes. But one would expect to be an unruly mom, chomping at the bit to get to serving areas, right? Rather than a neat and organized line. There's a small amount of dressing, and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening around, but it's pretty subdued. There's doubt to the very serious rules regarding no matter the school. Same strict discipline observed when the students move in the hallways will come to and from the dormitories in the school gate. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like the sense of order that's enforced in the school. I didn't really like told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches, though I feel a little used as I take a seat at the table with a certain at plunking their food down in front of them. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, a bowl of ramen and juice for Shizune. I heave a sigh of relief as I put it all down, after the significantly difficulty I had carrying it all in addition to my own lunch.
Thank you.
Misha claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. Shizune simply gives an appreciative nod before giving her steaming ramen a stir, and blowing on it a little to cool it down. I open my own lunch and another packet of sweet bread and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet, so much that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the difficult task and ask what's on my mind. So, I'm guessing you two had a reason to drag me down here. You two seem always to have an ulterior motive after all.
What are you saying? Saying, He-fan. We won't have any other motive.
What the heck? Her mouth is full of sweet bed as she speaks. Oh, it's a pretty unpleasant sight. Zuni looks a little grossed out before going back to eating her ramen. I wait until Misha swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. You're not buttering me up to make me work with you after school?
Nope.
Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give?
Nuh-uh.
Fine, you win. I guess you just wanted to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and handsome as me then.
That's it, He-chan. You got it.
Shizune looks unimpressed as Misha finishes signing our conversation. It sucks in the last of a long noodle as she signs her own thoughts.
She-chan said you shouldn't be suspicious of us. She's just doing her duty as a class representative after all.
I think that squiggly line means that they drag it on. How is she, are you doing that? As much as I hate to admit it, it looks as if I still have trouble communicating with Shizune. Should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Shizune instead of Misha in my speech, but when somebody else is doing the talking for her, it's a surprisingly difficult task.
It's a class representative's job to ensure everybody's doing alright in class, isn't it?
Not really. Wait, how's making me get your food and showing that all go well in class? Shizune huffs and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly. So this is the thanks we get for giving you companionship during lunchtime. That's a total dodge of the question. Wait, hang on.
How did you know that I...
Ah!
Lily is away and Hanako is absent, and since those two are the only people you hang around with...
Ouch, I may well have done so, but she didn't need to rub it in. Maybe this is payback from before. Right, well, thanks, I appreciate it, and it isn't sarcasm.
A Friday inconvenient Hisao can die of a heart attack, and here I am. You can hear me groaning whenever it happens, and grunting and my heart hurting.
Oh my god, I think me and Hisao have so much in common, man. Are we long lost brothers? Nah. It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and start on the last of my juice, and as I do so, I find my mind wandering back to what I'd been thinking about before the two interrupted my train of thought. Feels like I'm the only one in the class that so much as acknowledged Hanako not being there. I felt like this is the only other time she skipped. Sorry, she skipped class, but now it's even more acutely annoying. Also, I cannot breathe for some reason. I can barely breathe.
Hey, He-chan, is your juice past its expiry date?
What?
You're pulling a weird face like this.
As if it were needed, Misha makes my own expression. Her exaggeration makes me grimace. The Shizune at least takes some amusement from it. I was just thinking about Hanako.
Oh?
Misha's interest is piqued, and so Shizune is once my word I interpreted for her. I'm just worried about her being absent so often, especially now that with her birthday coming around. The memories of that incident is still fresh in her mind. Their faces alone are telling that much. Do you know anything about Hanako? Anything that might help? Misha shrugs and looks at Shizune, who mulls on this for a while.
The only people she's ever talked to for more than a sentence or two are you and Lily.
Shizune might not be able to convey Lily's name in the derisive tone of speech, but I feel as if it come through in the sign language the effect is lost, however after Misha's interpretation.
There are a couple things we know about Hanako as student council members, thanks to the records that passed through our hands, but we can't say anything about what's in them.
Understandable. Sounds a lot like the nurse's patient confidentiality. Every time I find someone that knows something about Hanako's past, it turns up being a dead end. The only way I ever find out about is by asking her. I don't know if she'll ever let me know such things, but if it's for her sake, I have to at least try. Dot, dot, dot.
Don't worry, He-chan, it happens every year after all.
This doesn't remove my sense of worry after all. I still feel a little at fault for what happened in class, but this feels like it goes further, even without the confrontation of that fact. Misha notices my trouble, especially unusually happy and reassuring face to drop.
Everyone has problems they have to deal with, right, He-chan? Alright, so I'm gonna end it here for this 1 hour special, if I can manage to get